Hey, what's going on, guys? Before we even get started, this is going to be a beginner lesson. We're going to talk about how to learn your fretboard the right way. I get this question all the time. How do I learn my fretboard? How do I learn my notes on the fretboard, especially if I'm just now starting to play? I know a lot of people that's been playing for years and don't know some of the notes on the fretboard, but that's okay. We're going to be talking about that today. Let's go. I'll start this off like I start off every explanation about learning the fretboard. So story time. I was like 9 years old or 10 years old, and my father went away on business or something. I can't even remember. He went away for a weekend, and I first started to learn the bass, and I was struggling with learning the notes on the bass. He said, when I get back, I want you to know every single note on every single fret on every single string. I said, whoa, that is a task for somebody that young. But he challenged me and he pushed me to actually learn the fretboard. And I kind of, went around different ways, try to find the easiest way to try to learn all the notes at the same time. So being that young, it kind of made me, back in the day, your father was like, especially if he was a musical person, you really wanted to, you really looked up to him and really wanted to please your dad or whatever father figure you had at the time or whoever you was looking up to. So of course, I would just buckle down and try to learn every single note on the fretboard. So first and foremost, what I did in the beginning, I noticed the relationship between octaves in the regular notes. Okay, so this is what I mean. I have my E string, right? I knew the notes of my A. I knew the notes of the bass, right? E, A, D, G. I knew that. That's probably about all I knew at the time. I knew some chord structures. I knew some scales, maybe. Yeah, that young, I did. But I was just playing by ear, and I really didn't know any better. So I would know my major scale. I would play that up and down. Then the church that I grew up in, we were playing old kind of bluesy type of style. So I knew that stuff. I just didn't know what notes I was playing. So it came a time when I started to read, I really needed to know what notes I was actually playing. So I had my E string here. I knew my octaves. I knew where my octave was. I knew where the note higher than that was, the same exact note. So I had my E and my high E, higher E on the D string. And then if I went up, I had my F, then the F on the D string. So my F first fret, F third fret on the D string. So it just went up that way. G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. You get the idea. So as I was going up, I realized, okay, I said, so if I learn one string, I've learned two strings. Because if I know there's an A here, I know that there's an A here, right? If I know there's a C sharp here, I know there's a C sharp here. Okay, so I started learning that and memorizing one string. Okay, memorizing one string. So first of all, it goes in order in alphabet. All right, so you have E, F, learn that first. F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. So you go up like that. You have to know, I'll put that on the screen too. Just the order of notes that you should know, what's sharp, what's not sharp. Okay, so that's first and foremost. So what I did was I learned the E string first, and then I learned the A string first. So that means if I learn two strings, if I'm playing a four string, 2 times 2 is, or 2 plus 2 even, is 4, right? So I learned all of my strings. So if I knew my first string was A, and then on the G string, this was A sharp, A sharp. So I learned the A string as well. So I just learned the notes of the A string. I know most people are more comfortable playing down here, but when you get up here to this register, I call that the ghost note region. And not ghost note like you think, like the ghost notes, but like nobody knows, like ghost town, right? So it gets really complicated when you get up here in this register of the bass. And then up here, it really just starts over, all right? It's like having a mini bass starting at the 12th fret. All right, if you don't notice, the 12th fret literally starts over the bass. Same exact thing. It starts over like a little mini bass right here. That's how I like to think about it as well. Another tip is to mark bullet points, like have markers to where different notes are and you know exactly what it is. So like every marker, say if this 3rd fret is a marker, and that's what it usually is on every bass, and this 5th fret has a marker, the 7th fret, the 9th fret, the 12th fret, 15, 17, 19, 21, so forth. All right, so you can count that and visualize it and actually remember what notes are on what fret. Pick a string. I know this is G, this is A, this is E, C sharp, B, this is G, A. All right, so I memorize where the dots were. And if I knew that, all I had to do is say, if I'm trying to find a G sharp, I knew where a G sharp was. So boom, just go up 1/2 step, right? Even down here, G sharp, I knew the G was here, G sharp here. So it was a quick movement, a quick thinking. I would learn the natural notes of the scale. So E, F, G, A, right? B, C, D, E. You can even do it like that. Just learn the natural notes of the scale. So basically playing a C major scale on every string, all right? As far and as high as you can go. There's not necessarily, I won't put an exercise on you guys, but I want you to think about the concept. All right. If you're thinking about learning your notes, it's not that difficult. If you know the order of the notes, you should be able to pick it out and know the notes, the names of the strings. You should be able to have no problem to figure out the rest of the notes on the neck. And it's very beneficial when you get into reading, sight reading, things like that, and playing with different people, playing with a band, and actually being comfortable playing on the fretboard.